So Universal had been trying to catch up with the wave of horror that had been sweeping the cinemas during that time period because unfortunately by this point Universal didn't actually have a horror franchise, which was funny because Universal really was the studio that kicked off the horror movement in the 30s, 40s, 50s, etc., etc. So they didn't have a franchise, so they optioned Phantasm to have a sequel, and they threw money at Don Coscarelli. Now, Phantasm 2 is a highly entertaining sequel. There is a lot of fun to it, a lot of great sequences, some great creature effects. Definitely, Phantasm looks great when you throw money at it. But I will say there is something missing from it. Well, two things, but we'll get to the other thing. One thing is that it does kind of lose its dreamlike atmosphere. It is definitely a much more straightforward film. But with that being said, with the stakes that the movie has, it does actually show the full extent of what the tall man is doing and seeing how it actually does affect everything around them. And so it is cool to see or have more perspective on the menace that the tall man actually has. Now, the other thing that this movie's missing, and again, this is no fault to Coscarelli, no fault to anyone concerned, well, maybe the studios. Now, in order to get this movie made and to get the budget he wanted, the studios, of course, wanted a star that was more bankable, but that basically meant sacrificing one of the stars of the original in order to be in this one. I mean, so it was either a choice between Reggie Bannister and A. Michael Baldwin playing Mike. And, well, let's face it, Reggie Bannister is kind of a singular presence, one that you just can't recast. And around this point, A. Michael Baldwin was still kind of a young kid, one that I guess the studios thought was interchangeable. And so they wanted to cast an actor who could be more bankable. And I am telling you the story because, frankly, James LeGros, no disrespect for him, still does a good performance. It's just compared to A. Michael Baldwin as a kid and even him as an adult, James LeGros is a little too Hollywood for the character of Mike. A little too, like, uh, beefy all American boy kind of thing. Just didn't really fit the character, but still does a fine job. So, but yeah, Phantasm 2 is still a fun movie, still got some great moments. That's where we get the amazing four barrel shotgun, but unfortunately, we do lose a beautiful heavy Cuda as a result.